want a linebacker, but
Let's go Cowboys! Let's go Cowboys! Let's go Cowboys! Cowboys can't bad, baby. Let's go, son. Crack 'em if you got 'em.
Welcome to Minnesota. Podcast, we talk about us arriving here, our trip, what we're going to be doing in the next week or so. And we asked,
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
let's go. How about them Cowboys?
Crack 'em if you got 'em. Yeah! Let's go, baby. Please hit him. Somebody punch him, please.
Hey, you want one of these? Coors?
Dude, you got a yellow belly. You knew exactly what
I know, you were looking me up and down. I knew what you wanted. You want a banquet?
Yes.
Crack him if you got him.
Jerry, pick us up, Jerry. We're not worthy.
Cowboys CanFan.
Cowboys can't.
Like Canadian fan, CanFan.
Oh.
Cowboys CanFan.
Love Canada.
Yeah.
I'll look you up.
Awesome, thanks, brother. Take care, man. And look, that's how you get subscribers. And nowadays age, it's a dog eat dog world. It's a dog eat dog world. We got to go on the street to get subscribers now.
I'll be like, there'll be a guy at the grocery store and I'll hear him say something about Facebook. I'm like, oh, you do Facebook? You ever heard of CanFan? At Cowboys CanFan. Have you ever checked us out at Cowboys CanFan on any major platform? Because we're on all of them.
Dude, go to tiktok.com/@CowboysCanFan.
We have a channel, yeah.
What's your channel?
Cowboys CanFan.
I'm gonna watch that. I'm
Cowboys
from Puerto Rico.
CanFan. We're from Canada, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's CanFan on his shirt there.
I'm gonna watch that when I go on.
Yeah, do it. You guys will be on our YouTube.
Can I come all the way to Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico? Hell yeah.
See, that's
Son of a bitch.
Let's go. We're gonna be cracking them if we got them, baby. Let's go. Not often are you gonna have the Vegas Strip shut down like this, so we're gonna take advantage of it. And we're gonna shotgun one for you, son. Crack them if you got them, son. Woo!
Walking crack?
Crack them if you got them, son.
You got Raleigh Cologne.
I've never met a real Eagles fan in real life. I'm from Canada. This is my first time out of my country. Well, hey, I don't say this often, but go f yourself.
Only an Eagles fan would have to promote a Giants or a different club's signage to try to get friends.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em.
There it is, baby. Oh, that's our song right there. And drop hit.
Boo!
And drop hit.
Oh no!
You know what? I want to just say this. Big Hud, you had your chance.
You had your chance!
Big Hud, and this is for the day ones. You know what we're talking about when we talk about Big Hud. He had his chance to have our song be his song. And he kept flagging us.
Yeah.
He kept flagging us on YouTube every time. Copyright for using Big Hud, We Dem Boys. Which is kind of funny because he stole or he used the beat from somebody else.
Well, you know what he did is he waited after every show that we did. As soon as it was done, he called YouTube. They're doing it again!
They're taking my jam.
Well, he could have just allowed it to stay there and then take some of that AdSense.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't technically. It's the label.
Oh,
Because it's, I'm sure.
How's he allowed
behind
to? How's he
baseball?
allowed to use Wiz Khalifa's?
He probably paid for the
maybe
sample.
he paid for the paid him for it.
Oh
we don't know.
We don't know these details.
And until Big Hud comes clean, the world will never know.
It was actually
come clean, Big Hud.
It was actually Wiz Khalifa copywriting us, not Big Hud.
You know what? It could have been Wiz's label that's trying to take it.
Crack him if you got him. We almost went a whole minute without getting one of those. Guys, how's it going? Oh, crack him if you got him.
I pre-cracked.
You did. I know you couldn't wait. Bandwagon boys, how you guys doing?
Good. In good spirits.
Yeah, man. I mean, could we? Last week went exactly how I wanted. There's been years where Cowboys teams, and we're going to get into the recap, but there's been years that Cowboys teams couldn't beat the teams that they were supposed to.
Yeah.
Last year they played a couple guys like Tennessee, and I believe it was the Colts that they should have put to bed and couldn't. And this year the offense, the defense, everyone did what they were supposed to, and it was awesome, and it's a refreshing feeling.
Yeah, definitely. Feeling more confident going into week 11.
Week 11, we got a big trip coming up. The CanFan boys are heading down to Texas. Oh, Texas, we coming for you, son. Woo! Texas boys, we're gonna be crack again.
I'm doing a double mix.
Oh, you're
here.
mixing it up.
Okay.
You're mixing up. So we're gonna be heading down to Texas next week, meeting up with a bunch of people from the UK Cowboys.
Yep.
There's a bunch of people heading down to the Thanksgiving Day game, so we're gonna be doing that next week. But before we get into that, what do we have on the docket today, Alex?
Yo. On today's show, Super Bowl.
Ad's mad that he didn't get to talk about how he is.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm done.
No, we got. This is your time. Now you're on the spot.
It's funny because Ant goes, "Bandwagon boys, how you doing?" And then he answered.
I told you that I do that.
And then you started talking again, and then he answered again, and then I was about to, and he's like, "Okay, what's on the docket?"
Okay, Bandwagon Boy 1, how are you?
Well, I'm feeling a little bit overlooked.
Yeah, well, you're the people's champ. I thought you were doing stuff to do with the show.
It is true.
I was double mixing my drink, and I was biding my time. I was Joe biding my time there. I don't know.
You were sleeping?
Sleepy Joe?
I was Sleepy Joe. No, I'm excited for the trip. I think it's great when we get to go and we do all these activities, shoot some content. We did a lot of trips this year. This is hopefully not our last trip because we got 2 other trips pre-planned. We don't know if we're going to pull the docket on it until it kind of comes to fruition.
Last trip's of 2023. This is probably the last trip of 2023.
100% for sure the last trip of 2023 for the
maybe a
CanFan
couple
boys.
early trips in 2024.
I'll be doing a couple mushroom trips before the end of the year, but
I mean, we should try to do
mushrooms.
some mushroom
Do a live stream on mushrooms.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
I can't watch it.
I don't do mushroom. I'm not very good on mushrooms. I just can't do it.
I've done them a while, but I do love them.
I'm in the middle somewhere. I don't know if I like them or hate them.
It's been a long time since I've done mushrooms, so I don't know. The last time I had them, I had a bad trip, so I don't know.
Watching football, I'd just be like this.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you go to the post Thanksgiving game show last year, I fucking smoked some of AJ's vape and I could barely keep my face open.
Never touch WayJ's stuff.
No, I don't function well if I'm inebriated with I mean, his stuff was pretty. I don't know, his stuff was somewhat strong, but that's just how I am when I smoke weed. So, anyways, feeling great. Excited for next week. Got the Panthers. I am actually a little bit excited for the 10 a.m. game. I'm going to be honest with you. Have a coffee and a crack 'em. I can't wait for that.
Yep, not a bad idea. Yep.
But WayJ, what do we got on the docket for today's show?
Well, we were gonna start with an awesome Super Bowl champ, but that didn't quite work. Okay.
No, yeah.
No,
That didn't quite work.
Yep,
That didn't quite work.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I was rolling with you cutting me off because I started.
I had to let him. He's my brother. I had to let you go.
It's okay.
So
I had to let you fly.
Good.
I had to let you fly.
This was good. We got some more insight. Okay.
I had to let you fly.
All right, but what's on today's show, you ask? Well, let me tell you.
Let's hear it.
After gaping the Giants and leaving their fans hopeless with a big George job inside AT&T Stadium, the Cowboys will travel over to Carolina to play the lowly 1-8 Panthers, who might just be regretting who they took with their number 1 pick.
Imagine
the 2023 draft, especially if you include what they traded to move up, which I think was this year's pick or next year's pick, however you want to look at it. We'll also check in on the NFL power rankings to see how valuable the powers that be deemed the dominating Week 10 win and where they're going to rank the
What were we
Cowboys.
last week? 6?
8.
8? Okay.
Went from 6 to 8, so now we'll see. We've been bouncing around that.
I think we went to 8 to 6, but it doesn't matter. Keep rolling. Keep rolling with it.
I'll show you. I have all of it.
We
all
were 8.
saved here.
We were 8.
We were 8, yep. And plus, of course, we make our score and bowl predictions. Some CanFan big buck bets. talk some Fantasy Football, and have a bunch of crackers on today's show. Boosh, baby.
Boosh, baby.
And we want to say welcome, chat. I'll just give you guys a couple quick highlights here. Kilo C with an LVE blue heart because of the LVE news. We'll talk a little bit about that. I was just saying.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, Ruben Cano says another practice game for the Cowboys. Bocce Eric's in the house. Garrett Shelton's in the house. Fuck you, Eastside Herald's in the house saying CG Stroud for MVP. Boots on the ground's actually trying to pack up for his flight to Mexico, but he said he's going to be booching with us on Sunday while he's out there in Mexico.
I like it.
He gave a couple boldies, but
Bocce, where is he going in Mexico? Oh, he goes to Guadalajara or on the.
He stays on the west side,
West
coast.
I'm an East Sider.
He's an East Sider. And then last but not least, Rolando Rodriguez, a.k.a. Air 2's in the house saying Cowboys CanFan. What's up from South Texas? Cheers, Crack'em if you got him. Go Cowboys, America's team. AJ, let's keep rolling.
All right, well, shit, let's get ourselves to this rapid recap. Giants gape.
The Giants gaping.
The giant
Cowboys gape. Giants.
What about that word gape? I'm a big. I'm in the middle with the word gape. I always just think of like a gaping butthole or
That's
something.
what it is. To me, that's what.
Prison talk within
prison
fucking
talk.
8 minutes of the show.
But that's
being
what
live.
when I hear gaping, I don't know. That's just what that's what I see. And
I hear gaping. I see goatsy. It's that simple.
Yeah.
What? Okay, I just want to make sure we're aligned with your titles here because
we're
my
Cowboys.
notes are a little are not. in that same order.
I only have the one thing there. So
Okay.
you're all good.
Okay,
You're all
awesome.
good.
So let's start off then with LVE because I think we need to. There was some big news. Jerry Jones mentioned on 105.3 The Fan. LVE is probably not expected back this year, and I don't know if that's because of the linebackers, but in the event of a neck injury, I don't think they'd rush him back anyways. This is the second one, and Jerry let a little slip in there, as he likes to do, and mentioned that this may be a career ender, or at least the end of his career with the Cowboys.
Yeah, man, it's a scary thing. The neck. There's few things, neck being one of them. That knee injury's just as bad for a career, but a neck injury's the worst for your life after football.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? Like a knee injury, sure, it sucks. Obviously, if you lost your career to a knee injury, but even attempting to play with multiple neck injuries, you're now sort of rolling the dice with your life even, or at least your quality of life. LVE, I don't want to say that he came in and at least got his bag, but he did. He got paid. He's made a bunch of money doing what he did. He's had some very good seasons. He's had an up and down career because of injuries. If I was him, I probably wouldn't come back because, again, I wouldn't want to completely ruin my quality of life with another neck injury. It's super sad. He had an up and down year so far this year. He played pretty well last year, but it's a sad story nonetheless.
Yeah, we don't ever want to like. I mean, as much as we shit on LVE, like this is the last possible thing you'd ever want to to see to somebody.
Oh yeah, you don't see anyone with it
and especially when last year towards the end and even a bit of this year, he was playing like there was no previous neck injury. So
yep,
yeah, it sucks.
Look, I think you can't excuse me, you can't blame the guy. He potentially literally left it all there out on the field. Also, just wanted to confirm, but in July, him and his wife announced that they are having a child due January 2024. You got to think that that's coming into the thought process. Leighton Vander Esch also was lucky enough that he signed a contract not too long ago, so he got to rebag up. I think he's in a position now where if he's not done with football mentally, just take 2024 off.
Yep.
Heal, see how you feel. And if you still think that you got some in the gas tank and that the neck, is going to be able to come to play, then come back and play. He's certainly not too old to play that position. But that's also a good reason to hang up the cleats.
Yeah,
be
man.
like, look, I'm fine. I played NFL football. And I played with the same team for my entire career. That's unique.
Had Pro Bowls, had All Pros. Like he's done a lot, and it gets to the point. You think of any recurring injury. We're all up there in our 30s, right? Think about nagging injuries you have. Imagine having a nagging injury or like something in your late 30s, early 40s, 50s with your neck.
Look, I'm not ever going to try to compare myself to Leighton, but I have a much different neck injury. I tweaked it 5 or so years ago. It still bugs me today, and I just sit at my desk, and I have to always make sure that like I'm sitting correctly, or it's going to hurt me. So I can only imagine if someone like
comes up behind you when we're like sitting at a podcast thing and grabs your neck.
Well, that luckily, but that's actually a good example, just of like, oh, you're feeling fine, and then just something that is not really anything wild. Mind you, he's playing football, but like, okay, you get it better again. It's just a matter of time. Okay, when's this going to happen again?
Well, there's a little bit controversy about the neck injury too, because on the slow motion replay, it kind of looks like Trent Williams possibly pushes him in the numbers.
Look, he probably did, but I would say that there is no way he was saying, "Okay, I'm gonna push."
Watch this. I call this the paralyzer.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever
Touching my neck, bro.
There's no way he would do that on purpose.
Yeah, intentionally.
But look, there's playing mean and trying to hurt a guy, but I don't, which I actually like on my defenders. I like go out there and hit the guy as hard as you can.
You want snot bubbles. You want to see snot bubbles. You want to hit him so hard you see snot bubbles.
But I don't think any football player out there is like, okay, I'm going to go out there and end this guy's career, or I'm going to give him a season.
I hope not, anyways.
I mean, I'm sure. Let's be honest. I'm sure that they probably do say that, but not actually meaning it. Like Ray Lewis, for example, definitely told people, "I'm going to put you out of the game.
I'm going to end his career."
There's you're hitting.
That's the intensity of the game, right? That's the equivalent of fighters in UFC talking trash, ready to kill each other, and then afterward you kind of show respect to one another. I'm sure that's the same way with football players.
I think like one of those scenarios where you're like, I'm going to hit that guy so hard he's not going to wake up tomorrow. Like you say these things without like ever actually wanting to end somebody.
It's more like trying to hype yourself up.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you want to hit somebody so hard that they're going to be sitting out for a couple plays or that game at least.
Hey, tell me, number 22 is gonna put me out of the game.
Like the water boy, like Bobby Boucher.
Yeah. Number 22 is gonna put you out of the game. Yeah. He's fucking he's like
Gatorade, Gatorade. Water's not bitter.
I wonder what type of stat is out. I mean, I'm sure there's the stat is out there, but I wonder how many non-contact injuries to like actual contacted injuries there are. Like I do feel like more people go out for they're done because of ACL or MCL tears versus like a player.
Oh, a neck's rare.
Yeah,
like neck is actually for what they're doing in the NFL, for these guys flying around, these ultimate athletes trying to kill each other. It's actually surprising how rare a serious neck injury where someone has to get carted off the field happens. Like it's not very common, and usually when it does happen, it's more so a concussion type injury than a neck injury.
Just remember last game, was it CeeDee Lamb? I think it was CeeDee Lamb who got tackled and the guy fucking like jumped on his back.
Oh yeah.
And the way that CeeDee bent, you're like,
oh yeah.
Like I was like,
it looked like a wrestling move. Like he hopped on his back and they both flipped.
Yeah, it was a straight up backpack DDT almost or something like that.
And he just got up. He pointed.
Yeah, he got up.
He just pointed.
I think the helmets do a lot to like. It looks bad, of course, but the helmets do a lot to like
stabilize
and at least stop you from going beyond a certain point, right?
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Instead of it just being dropped on your head type thing.
Hey, but this is for LVE here.
I want to thank each and every one of y'all for all you've done to your bodies.
Well, I hope he's okay.
Yeah,
I really do, and I'm sure the guy's he could probably have a career in football, coaching or giving back to the game. So
who knows? Maybe he's a great commentator. We can finally get someone else besides Greg Olsen.
We're getting Greg Olsen every day.
I know.
For the rest of the season.
Yeah, and you know what?
The rest of the season.
I forgot to do this as we're rolling into the CeeDee Lamb.
How about them Cowboys?
There it is. It's never too late. It's never too late for that.
That should probably just be a rapid recap intro song.
Well, they just speaking of the rapid recap for the Giants, the two games that the Cowboys played against the Giants, we outscored them 89-17.
Yeah.
That's wild. Like that's absurd, especially when it's against a divisional rival who you play twice every season, who we played last year. They were a lot better last year.
Yeah.
And then this year we just put 89 points up on them. It's crazy.
Do, baby, that's what we do.
Well, I mean, is that just a loss of morale?
They're just a dog shit team right now. They've had injuries. Just everything's going wrong for them.
Yeah.
They're not a good football team.
No.
And it's the same thing if we beat Carolina this Sunday, which the Cowboys should. Yeah, it's nice to see you dominate them, but it's expected. It's expected.
I want to say
that's what we want to see.
Yeah, I want to see a dominating game, and I also want to be like, thankfully we didn't go to that game.
Right? Yes, definitely.
Like, now, to be fair, if we dominate, we went to Minnesota and we dominated Minnesota.
That was super fun.
And that was still a kind of blast.
But at the time, Minnesota was like 8-1.
Exactly. Yeah.
So-
When it's a 2-7 team, I think that's, I don't know.
There's something like that.
Anyways, we'll get into it.
1-8. They're 1-8.
But CeeDee Lamb went out there, and in his last 3 weeks, he has created 2 NFL
8-8.
records. Do you know what those NFL records are?
I know one.
Yep.
One is 3 games with 150 yards and 10 catches.
That's wild. That's first of all, I think that's wild. That's a record that he set.
That just shows how hard it is to do that. I don't think it's the 150. I don't think
it's the 10
it's the 10 catches. 10 catches, getting 10 receptions in a game.
Receptions, yeah.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah.
Like that's hard.
I just figured Megatron.
And
He was the only receiver.
and that just shows how good you got to think. Jerry Rice never did that. Jerry Rice never went out there and had 10 catches and 150 yards in 3 consecutive games. Yeah. Because you would think at some point someone did that. I'm sure in a season, Jerry Rice probably had 9 or 10 of those.
Yeah.
But to strain 3 games in a row doing it,
right?
It's impressive that he did it. And in today's day and age, there's a lot of good wide receivers in the last 15 years that have been in the NFL, and none of them have done it.
Is that one that you're talking? I thought that was the four games in a row with over 10 at 100.
He didn't have the game against the Chargers. He only had 7 catches.
He had 100 yards.
He had 100. He had 100 and something yards, but he only had 7 receptions against the Chargers.
Yeah, okay, then I'm not going to guess because I'm mixed up on my.
The second one, I have no idea.
There's one that I know he's tied with Michael Irvin for like 3 or 4 consecutive games with 150 plus yards. I think
would be 3 games.
3 games. Sorry.
Well, but
anyways, again,
Irvin didn't do the 10 catches.
No. I'm sorry, Cowboy. I think it was a Cowboys record. I don't know. Whatever. You're gonna tell us.
Well,
that's why
he's got either way. CeeDee Lamb has the NFL record for 100 for that. The other one here is CeeDee Lamb is the first Dallas Cowboys player in the Super Bowl era. Super Bowl era.
It's okay, baby.
To record at least 600 receiving yards in a 4-game.
That's probably what you're thinking, Ad.
Maybe
600 yards in 4 games, man.
That's huge.
If I crunched the numbers, I did, and I posted it on the IG at Cowboys CanFan on Instagram.
You Oppenheimered it?
I Oppenheimered it. I crunched the numbers. If he's on pace with his last 4 games, so I took his current stats, what he's done up to week 9 or 10, sorry, but I took his pace from the last 4 games.
Smart.
And then I added that to the next remaining games. He'll come out with 2,200 yards and 150 catches. 2,200 yards, 150 catches. The craziest thing is he'll only finish with 10 touchdowns.
It's science.
That's just going with his current numbers. To think only 10 touchdowns on a 2,200 yard season is wild. No wide receivers ever even broke 2,000 yards. So CeeDee Lamb's on pace right now, if you take his last 4 games, to break the all-time receiving record in the NFL.
Well, that's how my people like to handle their business. While your guys are out partying, mine are running routes.
CeeDee runs routes. It's a known fact.
It's our boy.
There is a second half to this CeeDee Lamb story, and big shout out to you there, CeeDee Lamb. We love it. We want to see you keep doing it, and I want to see 200 yards out of you one game this season.
Party till I die. And against the Panthers, it's a chance that even happens.
Well, the other half of this is, does quarterback Dak Prescott belong in the MVP conversation? Now, I did the same thing that you did, and I went to our homies at PFF, and I said, hey, can you crunch these numbers? They said no, so I did it myself.
They're like, who are you? Stop emailing us.
Can you stop DMing us on X?
Look, you have created 13 profiles.
Alex 1, Alex 2, Alex 3, Way J, Clayton. Clayton 1,
they did
Way J 2.
They responded to Clayton.
BWB2.
Yeah,
BWB1's friend, BWB2.
Vapey.
Vapey McGee.
But I did the same thing that you did. I looked at the first 5 games versus the last 4 games. And here's some interesting stats.
Ooh, hit us, baby.
That I got for Dak for us. There's 4 of them, so bear with me. And we can pause and discuss But just so we're all aware, here it comes. His PFF offensive rating, so overall offensive rating, the last 4 games has been an average of 86.5. That's nice blue, okay? Or it's not green, but it's nice. It's a good blue.
Right.
And his 51 rate, he had a 51 rating his first 5 games. So that's a significant improvement. And 51, if you don't know what we're talking about, blues, well, 51 is a piss yellow on the PFF rating scale. No, it's a dehydrated piss yellow.
Just
sorry.
refer to the CanFan PFF urination chart.
It's what my piss looks like after a live stream.
Absolutely. Mine's actually clear as shit.
I mean, okay, day after the live stream.
However, if you're like AJ or WayJ and you crack a lot of multivitamins or something like that, your piss could technically be that orange color. So
that's true.
There is that, but we're looking at the.
You're trying to say Dak was just vitamin up for the first 5 weeks,
possibly.
We don't allow PEDs.
Right. Okay. You're right. You're right. Okay. Yeah. You're right.
It's just pure piss yellow.
Dak's big time throws. He's averaged 10.3 of his throws have been big time throws over the last 4 games. Only 3.7% of his throws were big time throws first 5 games. Okay. Turnover worthy plays, 1.3% of his passes over the last 4 games, 2.7% over his first 5 games. So that's still really good. But the fact that we've dropped that now more than 1%, that's over 100% improvement. Yeah. And then I did his trajectory same way that you did, took his last 4 game averages and paced them for the rest of the season. This is what he would end up with. And you tell me if you like this or not. 4,784 yards, 38 touchdowns. And he had 9.5 ints. I rounded up, so he would end up with 10 interceptions. But there's a chance it could be 9 interceptions. Either way.
38 touchdowns is a Cowboys record.
No, none of his rushing touchdowns either.
So 38 touchdowns would be a Cowboys record. Dak holds the record right now with 37 in a year. He threw, I think, 11 interceptions that year, which was 2021, the first year of the CanFan show. Yep. So I would love another record-breaking touchdown passing year by Dakota Rain Prescott. And if it comes with 10 interceptions, so be it. 38 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. It's the ratio. We're taking that ratio all day. All day, all long.
Does that put him on? And let's be honest with each other here. Okay, this is a open forum. Does that put him into a realistic MVP conversation if that ends up?
If it comes with him beating the Eagles December 10th, beating the Dolphins,
it's gonna have to.
He has to beat those teams. That's what's gonna get Dak's name in MVP consideration. Stats are fine. He has to have the record. He has to almost have to go undefeated for the rest of the season for people outside of the Cowboys nation like us to consider him an MVP. They have to watch him because there's the narrative before that he threw interceptions. We all know that's not true. He does throw. Last year it was an off year. The other narrative, which is I can lean more to, he sometimes or most of the time loses to teams that he should beat. Or teams that are better.
Who are the last? Who are the last 5 MVPs?
Mahomes was 2022.
Sorry, I meant.
I'll give you the last 2.
But with their records, with a couple of the records, if you look at Mahomes last year, if he won it, what is his TD to interception ratio? Obviously,
he had 41.
41 interceptions. Holy snipes!
41 ins. No, Mahomes had it. Mahomes was the MVP in 2022. Aaron Rodgers is in 2021. Going past that, I'm actually probably going to say 2020 was probably Mahomes again.
No. 2020 was Rodgers. I got it up here.
Sorry, so who was 2020? 2021
AJ
was...
Can rip him off
you were right. So 2022 Mahomes, 2021 Rodgers, 2020 Rodgers, 2019 Lamar Jackson, 2018 Patty Mahomes.
Okay, so there's your guys. Rodgers and Mahomes. Yo.
That's the only...
Fucking... Patrick Mahomes, yo.
Oh, we got Patrick Mahomes in here, yo.
The good thing here, though, is it's throwing quarterbacks who Dak, I'm not going to compare all of these guys together, but the one that stands out as a difference is Lamar Jackson, who obviously has a great fucking cannon, but a lot of his playmaking ability comes from the use of his legs, whereas I'm not going to say Mahomes doesn't have that, but because he can. He runs like a weirdo, but he can do it just like our boy Dak, big floppy feet, and they can run, but they choose, and Aaron Rodgers as well, but they choose to be more of that just a natural quarterback.
Well,
right?
let's just
if
say
they can.
let's just say this right now, and we're gonna dive into a little bit of betting.
Ooh.
Right now or later?
Well, the CanFan boys should just all pool money together for a hundo spot to bet on Dak winning the MVP, because right now $100 bet on Dak Prescott winning the MVP pays out $2,900.
Yeah, let's do it.
Where if you bet on Patrick Mahomes, who Dak and Mahomes almost have identical stats right now. They're pretty close to being identical. Mahomes has a couple more interceptions. His pays out like $227.
Yeah, no, I think
dollars. Where Dak pays out fucking $2,900 doll hairs.
If we did do that now, I would even forget that we made the bet.
Yeah, exactly.
If it didn't happen, I wouldn't know. And then if it did happen,
if it did $33 each.
Yeah, place that bet. Well, if it did happen the next day or the next thing, I'd just be waking up to Aunt sending me a fucking grand.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
What did I?
Hey, you did good. You did good, kid.
Okay, so we got a super chat from Gus to help our Dak bet.
Oh, there it is.
He says Phillies fans smell like pee for a $5 super chat. Ikran
well worth.
I haven't been saying to you guys, I haven't wanted to detract it, but this is the super chat, so we'll definitely detract from it. But Ikran Flowers is in the chat, so everyone just give a quick fuck you, Ick.
Is he an Eagles fan?
He's an Eagles fan.
The guy's confusing. He's bipolar. His messaging, and I go through the messages that are left. He's very bipolar.
So you know what? We attract all the weirdos, and we appreciate you.
I'm okay.
You're allowed in this room. It's a safe space, but it's not safe from criticism.
It's a safe space that we're not going to block you unless you're absolutely doing something completely vulgar. But he's just talking about his team. I just said, hey. He goes, the Cowboys are piss yellow, and he talks about we haven't played anybody. His QB Jalen Hurts. And I just said, yet you decide to spend your evening with Cowboys fans. Thanks.
Yeah.
And Ichabod Crane, we appreciate it.
Did Dak not throw 374 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions against the Eagles 2 weeks ago? He did. Dak Prescott can fucking put up numbers against that Eagles defense.
Fucking Jalen Hurts. Can you please give Ikran Flowers an FYDH for Kilo C, and then a suck my cock?
Fuck you, dickhead.
Oh,
now suck my cock.
Oh, actually, shit! I just found a photo of Ikarin. There he is.
There he is.
Ikarin, you sly dog. Always got your fucking face in a book.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Geek.
Fucking nerd.
But yeah, Dak Prescott should definitely be in MVP discussion.
Hey, at least right now to make it interesting. Let's add him.
If in 2 weeks or the next couple weeks he isn't putting up. If guys, realistically, the stats he's putting up in the last 4 games is better than anyone else in the NFL.
Well, the MVP, the league, like the MVP isn't whether or not you win the Super Bowl that year.
No,
right?
no.
So you can win an MVP without still taking it all the way to the.
Definitely.
This was an interesting question that was asked on the 8 o'clock spot on the Grid Network. Shout out
to Jerry Jones.
And that was one of the questions. Was who do you think the MVP candidate was, I believe, or maybe it was a specific person. But we went around the clock and talked about everyone. So my argument was, it was about should CJ Stroud, given how he's been playing, is he now on that
Definitely.
list?
He should be.
He should be. And my argument was, well, if you're putting CJ Stroud on there, and I get that he's a rookie, but then I think that's the same arguments that you would make for CJ Stroud, you would make for Dak Prescott.
Yep.
Although he's in his 8th season. Another interesting part of that, though, is, okay, what does most valuable player mean to you? Does it mean they were the best, or does it mean the person who helped their team out the most?
Elevated their team the best.
I like looking at it.
Elevating their team?
The person who elevated their team the most, because I think that's like... But that gets very subjective, right?
Yeah, totally. Because that's why when you look at that list, it's primarily a lot of quarterbacks.
It's always quarterbacks.
It's easy for them to do a quarterback, but then you start to hear like, okay, is CMC going to get that MVP this year? Could Micah Parsons get MVP this year? Not anymore, I don't think. But there's all of there is that silver lining where you have a player that could make an impact for the team to propel them. But that's why I'm saying because they don't take into account like Super Bowl and how far that team goes, they're kind of just looking at stats. I don't think they take that into as much consideration.
It's always going to be a guy, whoever does get the MVP, their team's going to be very close to the Super Bowl. But, and as far as quarterbacks being the MVP, I think the last person that won MVP that wasn't a quarterback was Adrian Peterson when he was 8 yards shy of breaking the rushing record. But it's tough. It's tough for anyone other than a quarterback. It's a quarterback-driven league. They're the faces of the NFL. Dak Prescott's a face of the NFL, but for the NFL to give him the MVP, for the Associated Press to give him the MVP, I think he has to go clean sweep of the rest of the season with like in 3 to 4 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, it's harder because we've seen those historic defensive seasons have already pushed the limit, right? Like 22.5 sacks or whatever that might be. And I forget the interception record is like 11 or 17, somewhere in that range. But it's a shit ton, right? No.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's like 13 or 14. Because Diggs was close.
Diggs was close
a couple years ago.
But with quarterbacks and you open up that extra season, now it's like you get another 400 yards, you can get another 4 touchdowns, and it's still considered a apples to apples comparison when it really isn't. So I think like it's easier for you to be like, what a season this quarterback's having.
5,200 yards and 50 touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
Or 45 touchdowns.
But it's like, yeah, you're getting an extra game now that, and in some cases, 2 extra games that the other record was actually set at, right?
I'm going to say this. The MVP is a race for the quarterback. Whatever quarterback throws 45 touchdowns first wins it. And that's not easy to do because even with Dak's pace right now, he's landing at 38. And that's with keeping a heavy pace. That pace also kind of, well, when you did your stats, you took his last 4 games pace, right?
Yeah.
So that's still an insane season. But those first 5 games might fuck him out of getting it.
Yeah, exactly. And he would have to have kept that pace to get over 5,000 yards, over 40 touchdowns. But hey,
that's tough. He'd have to have a couple insane games, like a couple 7 or 8 touchdown, 500-yard games type thing.
But you know who Dak is an MVP to?
Us. Because we're Dak riders.
I'm a Dak rider.
Gentle Dak.
I'm a Dak man. He's a baller. He's fringe 5 top quarter. He's a fringe 5 top quarterback in the NFL right now.
I'm riding hard, and I am reverse cowgirl right now. Let's go.
Crack him if you got him, son.
Cowgirl. I was going to say you should have said reverse cowboy.
Cowgirl.
That's my quarterback.
You just said the worst insult to yourself you possibly could have. The cowgirl.
The only last thing I wanted to talk about on the recap, but we don't really necessarily have to, but I think we should bring it up, is Micah Parsons needs to eat. Okay, That Lion's hungry. He was starved last game, no tackles. He was left without a sack. Is that going to motivate him? Because we've talked about it before. We've seen him. He gets frustrated. He gets flustered. I'm not going to say that affects his game because in terms of how he's playing defense on the field, he's been fucking lights out.
Yep.
But he's just not getting those big juicy stats that we like to see.
Well, I got a question for you guys. Would you rather, because last week the Cowboys had 5 sacks. None of them were Micah Parsons. Yeah. And I already know your guys' answer. Would you rather have Micah Parsons with 2 sacks and the team has a total of 3?
Right.
With someone else getting 1? Or Micah Parsons 0 sacks and the team has 5 with 5 different guys getting them?
Yeah, I think personally it tells a lot about, I think, what Micah and don't forget about Coach Law, D-Law out there as well, what those 2 guys are doing. If that's the case, it means the teams are having to focus on them and opening up the middle or the outside of the field, depending on where those guys align, where Lawrence and Parsons are lining up. And that's allowing them to get in. It's also really nice to know that we got a bunch of hungry little cubs on that D-line.
Yeah, I'm in favor of elevating the rest of your team. So I'll take everybody else being elevated as long as Micah Parsons is still contributing. So if you look at the body of work and when you actually start to and people who know football can see how he's getting double teamed, can see that he's getting holed every fucking play. Yeah. He is contributing to the success of that defense by just being there on the field. So yeah, I'll take him not getting Defensive Player of the Year if it means our defense as a whole is going to do better and be better because of Micah Parsons. That's AJ fucking getting something right. Oh, fucking yeah, dude.
Yeah. Those the other guys just have to win their one-on-one matchups if Micah Parsons is being double teamed, and that's all we can ask for. Crack
him if you got him.
Crack him if you got him.
Well, before we move on to power rankings, any chat convos?
So we got EJ Savage is going against Ikran Flowers.
We got a battle. We got a royal battle going on in chat.
Well, EJ Savage says that imagine using a different team's QB to say that this guy is better than Dak instead of your team's QB because Ikran was talking about CJ Stroud's better than Dak. And then he goes, because y'all know Hurts ain't playing at Dak's level. So I do think Dak Prescott is having is as just position to position. Dak Prescott is doing better than Jalen Hurts stat-wise.
Definitely.
Ikran Flowers comes back and just says, well, this is, what does he say? I'm sorry, Hurts is winning with limited efficiency. Are you serious? Well, that's the problem. Like, your team's still winning with limited efficiency. So could any other quarterback go into the Eagles right now and continue to win games?
Well, the argument with his is flawed because that limited efficiency eventually is going to bite you in the dick.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know.
That's not a good argument.
I also I don't want this to turn into a shitgoals podcast here, but I also don't understand what you mean by our team's not efficient. Well, you have everyone. It's not like you're missing your starting left tackle or someone like that, right? I don't think. Anyways, I haven't. So I just don't get that argument. It just means, okay, so you're winning games by chance.
And everyone else is elevating your quarterback.
Right.
Yeah, or another thing is like we're blowing out
Idiot!
Yeah, or we're
You were
blowing.
so dumb.
You were so dumb. We're blowing out the teams that they're barely beating. That's the bigger thing. There, a lot of the games.
December 10th.
Hey,
All
we're
I
gonna
gotta
find
say.
out.
December 10th.
We're gonna find out.
December 10th. Mark it down. Pencil it. Heart it. Put a little Christmas tree around it.
Yeah, fuck you, dickhead. Not to you. Well, fuck you too.
Fuck
but
me. Yeah.
Fuck you.
NFL power rankings, fellas.
Okay, so just
Did Ed Home fuck us up at all? Did he give away anything?
Moving on up?
I just went
moving
back,
on down.
So I'm just looking at week 10 just to confirm.
And just he's confirming this episode is sponsored by Hendrix Gin.
Down to so the week before they were 6.
They were 6 and they dropped 2.
Yeah, we dropped after we had beat the. The hell did we beat before? Or no, when we did lose the Eagles.
We
in a
lost to
close
the
game,
Eagles.
and they dropped us 2.
And they dropped us 2.
But
before that.
remember last week the 49ers went up and they were on a bye week.
Yeah, it was weird. What do we think what are we at? NFL power rankings.
Okay, so we were 8 last week.
So we got Eric Edholm on the NFL Power Rankings. Let's see. He did a really good title this week. Week 11, CJ Stroud led Texans crack top 10. Jags, Bills take plunge. He's not telling you.
His editors are like, dude, you got to stop. The whole point, yes, we get clickbait, but you have to let people. No one wants to know who number 1
They
is
don't read
before
the
they
article.
read. Yeah, they don't. I'm saying 8. They're not going to move the Cowboys because we just beat the Giants, is what they're thinking. And when I say they, I mean
true.
this mother effer Eric Edholm.
We know he's deep state NFL. We know what they're trying to do to the Cowboys, and it's not going to work.
I'm 7. I'm gonna 7.
Seven.
I was going to say that.
7.
You were gonna say 7?
Ooh, he beat you.
Okay, you know what?
I'll go 6.
No. Okay, I was gonna say 6.
Ad
originally.
always does this.
I'm going 6 now.
Yeah, you're 7. You don't, because this happened last time. I was gonna do 8. You're 7. You're 6. I'm 8.
I'm just gonna say it's gonna be 6. This will be, I think, my third time being correct without picking the number. It's
You
gonna
pick
be,
7.
I know, but it's gonna be 6.
Yeah, you picked 7.
Hey, it's gonna be 6.
7. Okay, let's see what we got. Number 1, actually, it's got to be the Eagles. 8-1 Eagles. It's got to be.
On their bye week still, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got to be.
Eags.
Philadelphia Eagles top the charts. They
Ikran,
stayed
Hey, Ikran, fuck you.
with a non-efficient offense.
Well, hope that knee gets feeling better. Kansas moves back up into the number 1
shit,
spot.
sorry.
So
Or
you
number
got-
2 spot,
up
sorry.
here.
So you got 8 and you got the top ranked team and the second top ranked team according to Ed Home facing off with each other next Monday Night Football, which we will be in Texas watching somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
for
fuck
sure.
yeah.
Rocking
Hey, I
our.
told- I
What
didn't
time's that game? 5?
It'll be
7.
well, yeah, it'll be 7.
Oh,
7 for us down there. Yeah, CT
Oh, that's great. That's perfect.
7 o'clock.
We'll be landed.
Hey.
Might have even had a little
hey,
nap.
Hey,
Yeah.
we might. Hey, I'm just saying right now, we might even live stream the fucking game in wherever we are.
Actually, that might not be a bad idea. We probably could just get a case of Happy Dads and just.
No, I was thinking go to a thing. I'll mic you guys up while we're at.
Oh, yeah, that's
thing,
not
and
a bad idea,
I'll-
too.
We'll just roll it.
Okay, number 3.
I'm down with that.
I'm down with
the
that
UK
too.
Cowboys, they'll be there by 6:30, so we could tell them where we're posted up.
Yeah, Ravens at number 3.
So they had a weird game. They were up on the Cleveland Browns, beating the asses, and the Browns came back and stole the win from them. So the Ravens dropped down 1-3. They're still a very good football team.
Yeah, the Browns and Detroit Lions were cracked the top 10 last week, so that's okay.
The Browns will still be in the 10.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying that because they both won last week, I didn't take that in consideration. I'm just
You
saying.
should have. There they are.
Detroit Lions,
number 4.
Number 4.
You know, I really hate that the Detroit Lions are ahead of the Cowboys, but I don't hate the Detroit Lions. I actually really love the Detroit Lions. I love their logo. I love their history. But I'm just shocked.
Do you like the Kiss song? Detroit, Rock City. That's the song, isn't it?
I would fucking kiss someone to that song. There's just nothing bad about them. I'm just actually very shocked as to what they're doing, man.
Hey, there's a chance that the Cowboys and the Lions run into each other come postseason too, baby.
Bring it on, Goff. You're a 4-letter last name. Fuck out of here.
Goff off.
Goff
Goff
me.
you.
Hey, why don't you Goff these?
Hey, fucking golf you, bro.
Goff these nuts.
San Fran moves up
Francisco,
to.
number 5.
They laid a smackdown on Jacksonville. They really did.
I think they're back.
34-3. They laid a whipping.
In Jacksonville, they were both the same. No, Jacksonville had a better record than them. So yeah, okay, they went up 2 spots. Ooh.
So number 6, this is the first chance the Cowboys have at being 6. But it's the Dolphins who stay at 6. They were also on a bye week. The Dolphins were on a bye week. They've stayed trill at number 6.
I think Ant's right. I think Ant's fucking looked at it before.
I didn't. I just feel like that they're not going to credit the Cowboys for beating the Giants. It's basically
I don't blame them.
They're not going to move you up for ass whipping the Giants. I wouldn't be surprised if we moved down a spot.
I do think it's unfair though that they would, the number 1 ranked team who we lost to by a fucking cunt's hair at one point, anyways, that they would drop us
for losing
2 spots.
Yep.
And then we beat, albeit a shittier team, and they potentially only moved us up 1. We're going to find out here. You know, I'm doing some
conspiracy.
Football. It's football math.
The truth.
I do.
Hashtag some conspiracy.
Can't handle the truth.
Well, let's see.
I'm nervous.
Let's see if we can handle it. Who's at 7? Oh! Did you get it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ad got it.
Hey, Anth, I got 2 words for you, baby.
We got 2 words for you.
I don't know why you're taking this hate out of me. Take it out on Eastside Harrow.
Yeah, fuck. I'm taking it Ikrin. I mean, hey, Ikrin, keep the engagement up, bro. Keep just
Ikrin,
Like and subscribe if you haven't.
Ikrin, you're a wild man.
Ad, you got to read it out because you picked the
Ikrin,
number.
I just want to, I hope you fucking are not baiting and typing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Pure left-hand typing.
Super
These Cowboy
quick.
fans. Ooh.
Oh, you get me angry. You get me randy.
If you ask me who the best team in the NFL, I'll say it's the Cowboys.
Thank you.
In brackets
Okay,
in the first half.
What's our next talk?
If you ask me who the best team in the NFL, I'll say it's the Cowboys in the first half at AT&T Stadium. In fact, I briefly mulled ranking 33 teams and listing Cowboys in brackets in first half at AT&T Stadium. Fuck you, dude.
This screams ChatGPT. He wrote make a snarky paragraph about the Cowboys. This screams ChatGPT snarkiness.
So, mulled 33 teams and listing Cowboys brackets in first half at AT&T Stadium at number 1. But neither my editors nor you deserve that. So why did you just take that whole first fucking few lines to waste our gosh darn time?
He's like, because I need 500 words.
Because he's baiting and writing at the same time. Him and Icky are fucking doing it at the same time. Including Sunday's shellacking of the Giants. Dallas has outscored opponents 107-22. Put respect on our goddamn name.
Dang.
In home first halves. After halftime, the team has been fine. Whatever the reason, the boys have so much more mojo. They have much more mojo at home where they've won their last 12 games. Yes, Alex.
Real quick, the only reason that second half might not be as good is
They don't have the starters in.
They blow out the Giants so bad in the first half. That
Cooper
they're like,
Rush is playing.
Yes.
That's so dumb. I'm glad you I was sitting here like Fucking
Seething?
yeah, just like that makes no sense, man. In the blowouts,
So you're gonna blow a team out with your starters? Classic Cowboys fan.
like I hate that. I was thinking this exact same shit, man.
Oh, we should make a video for this guy.
Just
on the
flexing. What do you think about that? That's the first half Cowboys right there,
This
son.
fucking guy at PFF doesn't know how. No, this guy doesn't know how to rank the Cowboys.
I want to do one of those black and white videos with in the arms of
an
and then, like
angel.
written to him, and it's just words. And I don't know what they're gonna
When
say.
you're holding
yeah,
the
I'm
sign.
holding like a sign. And I don't know what it'll say yet, but then we're like sending a
That would be
public
funny.
plea to him.
To help it about.
Stop the Cowboys hate.
You're a hater, dude.
So now you got to have another shirt that's instead of our shirt that you can get at CowboysCanFan.com/store. You could get a God hates Cowboy fans. It could be whoever this fucking schlub is hates
Eddie.
Cowboy fans.
Eddie Home.
Eddie. Llama Gamer says Cooper Rush is the GOAT though. LOL. Because we were talking about Cooper Rush coming in. And anyways.
But he ends here.
Okay, so whatever the reason, the boys have so much more mojo at home where they've now won their last 12 games. The problem, ? Dallas has work to do before thinking about home playoff games.
Playoffs.
But Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and the passing game are humming right now. And Sunday was great for the run game, which pounded away at a tired Giants defense.
So he gives a compliment, but then a backhanded one by saying the Giants are a tired defense.
Here's your drink.
Classic.
Have a drink. One big shout out too to that Rico DOWDLE.
Yeah,
Dowdle, baby. Rico Suave.
Did come in and perform.
Had a good game.
You know, in the after the starters went off, but that might even bode even more for him that he came in. I mean, I think I'd like to see more of Dowdle, even though.
I wouldn't be against it.
Even though I like what TP20 is doing out there.
Yeah.
Another thing.
The Dowdle run in the first half before they pulled all the starters was still good. Like it's not just after the starters were pulled. Like he was still.
Well, did Giants pull their starters?
No.
No.
They rolled
he
with
was.
them.
I don't think Giants even had their starters.
Yeah.
Did the Giants have
fair
starters?
enough. Fair enough.
I don't know.
But yeah, he. I want to see him. I want to see him more.
I want to see some Dowdle. Okay, who's finishing off this top 10?
Finishing off the
Let's
top.
see.
10.
Let's see. Jacksonville. Yep.
Jacksonville down 4.
Wow.
I mean, that's
They're saying, hey, man, you lost to another team that was on a 3-game losing streak. You got your asses handed to you. Yeah, drop them down. Drop them down. Kick them down the line.
Yep.
kick him down.
Next is that Cleveland Browns.
Up in from 10 to 9. Respect.
Respect 6-3, same record as us. But they don't got a logo on their helmet, so
There's a decent amount of teams that are at a 6-3 record, so it'll be interesting the next couple of weeks to see how it pans out.
Who's going to pull out? Whoa, the Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud.
sorry. Before we do that though, is Watson's out now for the
Yes, he
season?
is.
So
For season?
Yeah.
Holy, I didn't know that on Wednesday that Watson will undergo season-ending surgery. I just traded him for Gus Edwards in a super flex.
you traded
I
him?
traded Deshaun Watson for Gus Edwards.
nice, dude.
God damn, the snakes are slithering.
That's slithery. And then Houston Texans pulling up. And then Seahawks right behind them.
Man, the Texans, respect again.
Yeah.
The right now it's a weird the top 10. There's a couple teams in here that it's the way this fucker ranks them. They could pop in and out.
Well, the
week to week.
Cowboys are going to stay between 7 and 5 for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we play the Panthers and the Commanders. If we win both of those games, or when we win both those games, I can't imagine them jumping us up. It might be one spot next week
6.
against the Panthers, and then maybe we'll probably just hold. Like, I can't see us getting into the top 5 with our next 2 games. They're really going to wait to see what we do.
It also depends what those other teams in the top 5 happens with. If everyone's winning,
It's a hold.
Okay. One quick question for you, and then I got a comment. Llama Gamer says Houston, Jags, Lions, and I'll say the Browns all in the top 10 is absolutely crazy. We talked
it's
about
insane.
that last
It's
week.
nuts.
And then Ikran Flowers wants to know, is PJ Walker better than Dak Prescott or Apricot? I mean, no. You fucking idiot. No.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. Okay.
who the fuck is PJ Walker?
PJ Walker's the guy who's going to be
Backup for the Browns.
He'll be the starting quarterback for an instance, and then my boy DTR is going to come in there and take that starting job.
The Tinsel and Titletown.
Yep, Tinsel and Titletown.
Cowboys at 7 though. Can't hate it.
No.
Cowboys
Keep
at
us
7.
down there. Keep us down there until we smack out those birds.
Keep my PFF ranking out your mouth.
This isn't
Keep us
PFF.
hungry. Keep us hungry.
It's NFL.com, son.
Dustin Baker in the chat says he's better than the Eagles running back Jalen Hurts.
I like that. I respect that. I appreciate that. And I agree with that.
Eagles do have the most cluttered backfield in the NFL.
And then Ikran also says Commanders beating y'all on Thanksgiving. We're gonna be there, son.
We are.
We're gonna be there in person Thanksgiving, and they're not gonna beat us on
Old
Thanksgiving.
school saying, be there or be square.
Yeah, Ikarin has a habit of being an Eagles fan, but then saying other teams are going to beat us because he's scared, he's nervous.
Yeah, well, there's so many better quarterbacks that could beat you. I'm not gonna like Patrick Mahomes. Are you Patrick Mahomes?
Are you Patrick Mahomes? Ikran Flowers, you could go to cowboyscanfan.com/store. We have merch available, as you can see on the screen. This is just a little bit of merch break. Since you've been in this chat this entire time, you're obviously a Cowboys CanFan super fan. Feel free to go in there, get a Philly Suck shirt.
Or CanFan Maniac shirt.
Or a CanFan Maniac shirt. So, and Gus says DTR is starting Sunday.
Wowzers.
Hey, I like that.
You just willed that into existence.
I just willed that, and Gus confirmed it for me.
All right, guys, game preview. Cowboys at Panthers, traveling all the way across the country to North Carolina, Charlotte, where we were going to go to, but we pulled the pin and aren't. But, guys, is this a trap game? I'm going to ask you that right out the gate.
No.
It has the recipe for a sneaky trap game. But I think, like, the way the Cowboys played against the Giants, which I was expecting something to just fucking a flat tire to happen out there.
Like after Dak's interception early in the game, it's like,
I was like, okay, this could be something that we're not. I still had confidence we're going to win. In this game, it's a road game, so that adds a little bit more of peril to the decision. But I don't see the same Cowboys that I'm used to seeing coming out against a team that they should beat. So that trend's going to continue. These boys are hot.
Should be a smackdown.
But let's have a look, skis, at their just their records here. Obviously, we got the 6-3 boys and the 1-8 Panthers.
The lowly Panthers, who did get a big win against the Texans, who are in a top 10 team, and it was a close game. But every other, how many times have they been beaten by multiple scores? Lost by 14 in week 1, lost by 10 week 3, lost 42-24 against the Lions, lost 42-21 against the Dolphins. Like, those are the games I look at where we're on the same level as the Dolphins and the Lions in my mind. So I can't expect it being any worse. The only difference is they were away for those games. All their home games, they've kept it pretty close.
I mean, now that we're looking at this,
That the home games have been, though, against the Saints and the Vikings,
who are both in right now the NFC playoffs.
Yeah,
playoffs.
So they're still right now they're seeded as playoff teams.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I just don't think of them as like an explosive scoring offenses. But Cousins was playing then, so and I believe Double J.
You want to see the other interesting thing about the Cowboys? Look at where those 3 L's are beside all away games.
Yeah.
All away games, and then even the one against the Chargers, we won 20-17.
Well, no, I was going to say we're not looking. Look at the pattern.
I know the pattern's a loss.
The pattern would say so: win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win.
Should be a loss.
Should be a loss. And then it's going to go win. So
now we break the curse.
We break out of this.
Gets broken.
The curse gets broken.
Expelliarmus.
I mean it. This
Break
is
it
where
up.
everybody says Cowboys are going to do Cowboys thing and they're going to lose to a 1-8 team. Like, and frankly, we have to break the curse. Dak wants that MVP. We want that $2,900 bet. Fucking Dak, break the fucking curse.
Break it, baby.
And for all y'all audio and audio listeners and those out there in the YouTube right now, speaking to you, Icarus Crane, 10 a.m. game this Sunday, okay? We'll kick off our show roughly around an hour, more than likely right at that 9 a.m. mark. So make sure you come join us here. Get some Kahlua to put in your coffee. You know, that's how I'll be rolling.
Watch me eat a breakfast sandwich.
Yeah,
Coffee and crackums, baby.
Coffee and crackums.
Should we just get like fucking 20 fucking sausages and eggers or what?
Oh, that wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad.
AJ does not. AJ's putting in his MyFitPal fitness app and saying, "Okay, 20 sausage and egg does not work."
Don't need to. It's all right up here.
It's all of that. Oh, sorry, you're already quick mathing it. You're quick mathing
The
that.
sausage and egger's got to be at least 500 calories.
Oh yeah, 450. I think it is.
Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Until you put a hash brown on it, which bumps it up to 5.
Dude, I used to
that'll
eat-
bump it up to 650 probably.
My McDonald's breakfast was 2 McGriddles,
Jesus.
which are probably
Those are 5.
6 or 8, like
Yeah.
because they're fucking pancakes, 2
Pancakes.
little mini pancakes. So I was really fucking out of control.
You're hamming it up.
Yeah. But look at this. Obviously, we're going to do a quarterback breakdown here. Looking at the rushing game and the receiving game, Adam Thielen showing up in his 10th or 11th season.
He's
here.
up there.
He's been a fantastic pickup for me in fantasy football. So
Yeah.
He's a good third wide receiver or a second
was
flex.
terrible. Like I had him on the Vikings because I thought he was going to do well on the Vikings, and he didn't really show up. I dropped him last year, and then I was like on a whim. I needed to pick him up one week, and then that week I picked him up. He did like fucking 30 points, and
There
then
it is.
he's been a dog.
He's a dog. Yeah, but speaking of dogs, CeeDee Lamb, guys, 68 receptions, 975 yards, 4 TDs. Yeah, we'd like to see that a little bit higher, but he has put himself in a top 3 spot right now. The only 2 wide receivers ahead of him right now are Tyreek Hill and A.J. Brown in receptions.
Yeah.
And he's playing out of his mind, and there's no reason to see that slowing down. Chabu Hubbard, a Canadian boy, actually, 94 carries, 351 yards, 1 touchdown. Then our guy TP20, 135 carries, 529 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then Dakota Rain Prescott just killing it.
Yeah, we'll have a look right here after this quick little team stack up. And this is our stack up. I do also want to share a couple fun facts that I just looked up here. But first, looking at our boys, we got 3rd for points scored with 269, 4th for points allowed with 165.
That's impressive.
Overall, ranked 3rd. This is all PFF, by the way. Offense ranked 7th. Defense ranked 3rd. Special teams ranked 4th. So we're kicking around that 1 to 5 spot with special teams. I don't know why I'm fucking honing in on special teams, but that's just what I do. And then over here to those lowly Panthers, we got 153 points scored, 29th. Ugh. Points allowed, 242, 26th.
Jeez.
Ugh.
So their point differential is putrid.
Not good. Almost 100. It's like 90,
It's awful.
89 yards.
Yeah, it's awful.
Or 80, 91. Overall, they're 31st. Offense is 31st. Defense is 26th. Special teams is 19th. So they're literally 1 step above the Giants in terms of
Their rankings.
their rankings. Yeah.
They're not good. They're not a good football team at all. They're just not. And they're a new team. They had the 1st overall pick last year. This is kind of a learn it year. Hopefully they pick up pieces next year in the draft. They're in a rebuild mode, and we have to treat this team like they're Super Bowl winning players.
I want to see them go out there, go hard, get 40.
Get a 60 burger. Ooh. Why the hell not? 60 burger at 10 a.m.?
Oh yeah,
Love it. I would love it.
That'll offset those fucking 20 sausage and eggers we're about to fucking down, boys.
Yeah, you can erase the calories as long as you ate 20 sausage and eggers from McDick's.
Because I'm expecting that Brian's going to show up this at 10 a.m. He didn't show up to the Giants game. Did you not invite him?
I didn't invite him to the Giants.
Let's invite him to Carolina.
Yeah, get him in here. See what he's going to be doing at 10 a.m.
I'll ask him. I think I did. I think we did. Didn't
Well, we said-
wasn't he in chat or something like
No,
that?
well, I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, I thought so. But I thought that was for the Giants game, but I can't remember. Anyways,
We were going to. No
we-
one needs to know this. Okay,
No one needs to know this, but we like talking. I'll bring the Kahlua though. If we're all in for Kahlua, I'll make coffee and Kahlua for our first quarter.
I'm having a coffee and screech, son.
Ooh, oh,
You're gonna pour Screech in your coffee, or you're just gonna drink. You're gonna shoot Screech and then chase it with coffee.
I'm going to shoot coffee and chase it with
Screech.
screech.
there you go. Cup of Screech and a little espresso shot.
Mask my alcoholism with Sunday football.
That puts hair on your chest.
I mean, the bigger question is Bailey's or Irish cream, or what's that?
40 Creek.
Is that 40 Creek? Okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
40 Creek,
Hey,
good.
they're both Irish cream or whatever the fuck it's called.
Only big injury on the boys right now is Turpin. Arm injury, questionable. We'll see.
Didn't play last week.
We'll see how that goes for this week. Was that good or not for Cooks? Because he also went out there and had a great game.
True. I didn't even think about that. That's interesting.
I don't know. I don't want to put that on Turpin.
No, I don't want to put that on Turpin either. Deuce Vaughn was out there catching punts instead, but didn't really do much with it.
No, but hey, he didn't
fumble.
Didn't fumble, so that's good. And on the Panthers, we got Burns, who I think is going to be an interesting matchup. He's due for a sack, but he's got a head injury questionable. S. Sullivan, their tight end, arm injury questionable, and Chanot Jr., wide receiver, with a leg injury, and he's
they all respectable PFF grade guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
mid-tier type players.
Guys who you would want on the season, or on the field rather than the next guy down.
Yep.
So
what is going on with all their edge rushers? Like, they have three edge. They've been edging. The Panthers edge too hard.
Gross mottos.
Yep.
Edging too hard.
Edging too hard.
All right, but this is what the people fucking come for. Dak Prescott versus Bryce Young, quarterback comparison. And I don't really think we need to go too deep into this. Just look at their offensive grades. We got Dak Prescott here, offensive grade of 87.6. Oh, third out of 38 QBs.
Respectable.
84.4 on his pass grade, which is fifth. And he's decent running, too. Nice green score running at 78.4. And we look over here at Bryce Young. He's a 35th ranked QB with a 50 overall offensive grade. And his pass grade he's 34 out of 34, 49.3. He's dog shit.
He has not had a good rookie season.
Have you,
not a good rookie season.
What other, he's a pretty small quarterback.
He's tiny.
Like, you look at him when he shows up, it's almost, when I was watching him play this past week, waiting for our game or whenever they played, I was like, man, he looks like Deuce Vaughn.
He's tiny. He's not a big guy.
So this kind of goes to the,
but he's not stocky like Vaughn. He's not a big human.
I will say size does matter in a lot of positions in that.
Yeah, NFL. It does. You're playing against grown-ass motherfuckers.
Because you look at C.J. Stroud, who went number 2. He's far bigger in size than Bryce Young.
And he's playing like it.
And he's playing like it.
It also goes that maybe the number 1 overall pick isn't always the greatest thing to have because you're almost forced into taking the best prospect at quarterback for a franchise, right? Whereas maybe if they were down the line a little bit, they're not taking a quarterback, they're taking another integral piece, and then maybe this year they're getting Caleb Williams.
The other thing that, Ikran Flowers brings up, if Bryce Young had an offensive line, he could do some damage, yet alone some real receivers. So no receivers and no offensive line. Obviously, those are two components to make a successful quarterback.
But the Texans going into the year,
I know everyone thought they were trash.
Everyone thought they were trash, and when your quarterbacks elevated the play of everyone else around them, you know what I mean. So that's I'm not going to say that's that's not a very good argument by Ikran again. But stick around, keep commenting.
Here's like and subscribe.
Just to play off of that comment though, if that is true, and I have no data to suggest otherwise, but then it's like, why would you go ahead and spend a draft up, give away your next year pick to draft a quarterback in the number 1 position when you know you don't have the line there or the wide receivers? It's like, at some point I know it's like, oh, if we miss out, it's like every single year more quarterbacks come through. You don't need to rush that decision.
It's almost one of the worst things. And that's what I mean. That first overall pick's kind of a shitty spot.
It is.
Because maybe if they're not at the first overall spot, they're upgrading
they traded
their line.
up. That's the whole...
I know.
It's like, you're absolutely right. But then they go and put themselves in the position. There's a thing, if you had those 3 doors to pick through, and one of them had $1 million, and
one of them had Bryce Young.
This is gonna, this is gonna seem really stupid because I'm not gonna get the analogy down exactly, but it goes to your point of like, if someone already takes away an option and now you have to pick between 2 instead of 3, you have a 50-50 chance instead of a 1 in 3 chance, right? Because they've already taken an option away. So it's like, okay, my odds are way better now. And that's kind of goes along with like, if you're making that first pick, it's like, I'd rather someone else do it. If I'm choosing between 2 people, especially in fantasy football, I'm like, I really hope someone else picks them And then my decision.
I'll get the other guy that I'm okay with.
Yeah, because like just making that decision is really hard, and that's when you do stupid shit where you're about to pull the trigger, but then something fucking comes up, and
well, the Texans, for example, they picked second, and they took Bryce Young, or C.J. Stroud because Bryce Young was already gone.
And
right, if the Panthers go C.J. Stroud, well, the Texans are going Bryce Young. So,
and I'm not going to say that would have that would make the Panthers a better team or not. I think, honestly, Ichabod was not that he's correct, but you're right in like you got to look at the offensive line. You got to look at the weapons available. But still, it's a decision-making process.
We better not lose to this dude.
No, fuck no.
But then he says Texans have a great backfield and they have Dalton Schultz and Tank Dell and Noah Brown and other weapons, and Carolina don't have any.
Yeah, well, what about this, Icky Bob? Crack him if you got him.
Crack him if you got him, Icky.
If you got him. Icky Bob Crane.
More like Sicky Bob.
So here's my matchup of the week, okay? We got our boy Dak Prescott looking tall and ready for the game on the left.
This is why you were all about Brian Burns on the IR, because you kind of matched him up already.
Yeah, no, well, because I'm trying to look. Go ahead and look at the lineups of these two teams and try to pick another matchup. That's the hard part. But here's the fun things about Brian Burns is Dak had a sackless game last against the Giants.
Good job.
Very nice.
Good job, OL.
He had a nice big sack, but he wasn't sacked.
Juicy.
Yeah, well, with the legs, with feet like though, you have to have
floppy old feet.
Big sacks.
Yeah, and Burns has 5 sacks this season, and he's been getting a sack, 2 sacks in the first game, but after that, it was a sack every other game. He did not have a sack last game.
So he's due.
He's due for a sack, and I'm just going to be watching that because I want to see Dak repeat his sackless performance. It'll be really nice to see. And some other things just to look here. It's really fucking blurry. Apologize about that. But Dak has a 20.8 sack percentage when
so that's moving up.
It's moving up. So
a couple weeks ago, it was down at 15.
Yeah. Now here's the thing: are they just creating less pressures on him? But then the ones that do get through are sacking him. I'll take that. But still, it's not something you want to see. So my matchup, and you guys can get in on this if you want, is shutting out Brian Burns.
I would then
Chop block him. Take his knees out. Do what you need to.
I would subreddit it and say, like, who's Brian Burns lining up against on the line? With Dak. So Dak plus whatever O lineman that Brian Burns is going to be kind of going toe to toe. Which I don't know what side is Brian Burns generally playing on.
I don't know.
Brian Burns. Anyways,
Left.
Doesn't matter. But I think in terms of like how last week happened, a 71.3 PFF grade. I don't know what our boy Terrence Steele is showing up at this week from last week's game. But if Brian Burns is lined up at Terrence Steele, then I feel like this will be a little bit of a Dak will have some more work to do here.
Yes, and some other real quick notes to make about this competition. Number one is Tony Pollard's pass blocking. He's like an 89 rating.
He's blocked very well.
He's doing much better than we all.
Well, that was our biggest worry.
Yeah,
we were, and man. Thankfully, because if he couldn't, I'm sure Dowdle could pass block. You don't get to see him very often in that. But right. Yeah, that was one of the biggest worries about Zeke leaving was that you're losing out on that extra blocking mechanism in the offense. And Tony Pollard, I don't think I've even noticed it any time this year. I'm like, oh man, TP completely whiffed on a block. I haven't even seen it.
Yeah.
So obviously, whenever he's out there, he's picking up his blocks.
He's been very solid, and that has also. I don't know if this is a result of that or just these last 4 games picking up. But during the Cowboys' hot streak, I'm calling it.
Say it again.
It's the hot streak.
Hot streak can fall.
The pre-snap movement, and our boy EJ Savage at Boys in the Zone. Go check out his show on YouTube. I think is it just Boys in the Zone or
EJ's Boys in the Zone
or EJ Savage. I wish I would have known, but on Twitter it's at Boys in the Zone. He's our boy. and he came quick with the stats for me.
In the zone.
But pre-snap movement is up 58. It's 58% of over the last 4 games, this hot streak, compared to only 30%.
Well, you can tell.
The first 5 games.
You can tell. It's every time they're moving CD Lamb out somewhere. They're moving Cooks. They're moving Ferguson quite a bit. Even TP20, you've seen him moving a lot.
Yep.
Even
sometimes the guy will just go.
That's
out
all they. That's all it needs.
Yeah.
That's all they need. They'll put him in the original spot he's lined up at. They'll just move him to see what they do, and then they'll just move him back to the same spot.
Yep. And I've also noticed, and again, there's no stats on this, that but this is just my subjective view.
iStat. It says iStat.
Is a lot of some little more funky plays, like just some different. Remember, we had a what was it, a triple back set at one point? Like there was 2 tight ends and a running back in the backfield. They ended up running out, but still they lined up kind of funky.
Well, even CD Lamb getting the jet sweep type play for the touchdown.
Yep, exactly.
There's a little bit more creativity. They're getting the looks they like, and Dak's finding the open receiver.
And the final kind of stat that packages all of Dak having that good protection and why we need to focus on keeping Brian Burns out of that pocket is Dak Prescott's average depth per throw or of throw is up over the last 4 weeks, 10.1 yards compared to 7.5 yards.
Yeah, that's substantial. So it's a first down every time.
It's a first down now, right? So like that's a major difference than getting 3rd and 3. Right now he's able to
pick up that first.
Keeping
those chains moving. Keeping the chains moving.
So it's gonna be fun. But that's I believe that's all we have for these comparisons. Unless there's anyone else you want to talk to. I could not find actually the only other comparison I thought that would be good would be Adam Thielen because he's playing that slot position, and then J. Lou.
Ooh, that could be.
And J. Lou's not playing good. So
you know what? That's a subreddit fucking matchup that right there. Because if we go back to the last 2 games, the Eagles, every time they had like some form of a big play, it was on J. Lou. And then even last week when we saw the New York Giants get some sort of production, it was generally when it was lined up with Jordan Lewis. So yeah, if anything, target everybody. Like OCs are looking at him and be like, okay, Jordan Lewis, here's his fucking holes. Like, let's go, do this and then go to that. But so
sure, and is it? I think it's a problem with him, but is it an embarrassment of riches where they're like, okay, we're not going to go to.
We're not throwing out Bland. We're not throwing out Gilmore. Just throw it. Throw it, Lewis.
And then maybe he's just getting outplayed by that player, which is not. It doesn't bode well that you're not playing well against that 3rd-ranked wide receiver. However, if you're a slot, that's kind of it could be the number 1 receiver you're up against in terms of like who the quarterback's looking at, right? So
I just picked up my bold prediction for the week.
Ooh, I like it. I love it. I have a song for it.
Well,
boner.
Thinking of that, let's get to our score and bold predictions. Dun, 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 dun.
And a hush falls over the crowd.
Okay,
let's go for it.
Boldy, Jordan Lewis, interception touchdown.
Oh,
wow!
I would have just took an interception, but I like
Jordan Lewis, interception touchdown and 1 sack.
You just had to AB it, eh? You just had to beat up
and a fumble, forced fumble. No, I'm kidding.
I can't let him go that far.
That's what I'm. J-Lu, int, TD, pick 6, 1 sack.
I like my bolds bold. I don't like them too bold.
That's bold. That's an extra side of boldiness.
Do you got one or? Do you want me to go?
My bold prediction: Tony Pollard 2 rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown.
Nice. Okay.
Just because I feel like there's been a lot of TP20 fucking
slander
going out there about him not scoring last. So I think he's going to see the house 3 times. 2 of them are going to be for a rush and 1 for receiving touchdown.
I'm going to go ahead and say Micah Parsons gets 3 sacks in this game.
Like that because he's only ever had 2 in a game.
Yeah.
So a 3-sack game coming off of a sackless game, 0 tackle game. Micah Parsons, 3 sacks.
Are we going to trip Micah Parsons this Sunday?
Ooh. We could.
I'm gonna.
Will it in?
It's kind of like
No, because I'm wearing it at the Thanksgiving Day
Okay,
game.
so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go white Micah on.
I'm going to wear my Thanksgiving
Sunday.
Micah to Thanksgiving.
I might go Micah then.
I might go Romo.
Ooh,
Might go blue Romo.
Blue Romo. Interesting.
Although it looked like I'm wearing a Turpin jersey.
I know I'm not going Deuce. That's for damn sure.
Okay, I'll lead out with score prediction.
Sure.
We believe the Cowboys are going to win by 11 points. Hopefully a lot more than that. Is it another 40 burger, back-to-back 40 burgers? I don't know. Sure, let's go with it. 43 for the Cowboys to the Panthers 6. 43-6 for the Dallas Cowboys, and the Carolina Panthers are only getting 2 field goals or a touchdown and a miss extra point.
52-17 Cowboys.
Jesus Christ.
52-17. We all went crazy. Like, we all went in the 30s last week, and they get a 40 burger. Now we're all going to go high, and they're going to score 20.
Should I change mine then?
No, too late. Too late.
I mean, that's also fake news because when we go like 27, 24, 27, 17, it's like it's totally fucking different.
Yep.
Okay.
Fake news.
I'm going to go 34-17.
34. So that's a close. To me, that's a close game.
It is, but I think they're going to get a garbage time
And they're away.
touchdown.
They're away. Right. The Cowboys aren't playing at home. They haven't put up as many points on the road, and the Panthers have played a lot better at home. So
Yeah.
could happen.
Okay. Well, we got to. Hey, this is a much more ranged, at least.
All,
than,
all of our scores last week were very close.
Llama Gamer says 41-7 Cowboys. Herbold. I said Herbold.
That's a good score too. Wait, 41. How do we get to 41?
You get 41. You would have
35 and then
Yep.
two kicks. That's what I'm saying. I think there's 2 field goals.
You're thinking 2 field goals.
But the difference here with me and Llama Gamers, I only thought 4 touchdowns. He's going for 5 touchdowns.
And then Bold Ferguson 2 touchdown 100 yards. That's a good bold.
Oh!
I like that bold because Fergie's doesn't have the yardage.
Nope.
He has those targets, pretty high targets to catch ratio.
For me, I'd even say 100 and a touchdown. I mean, that's borderline bold. I think you got to go 120.
Yep.
But so 100 with 2, that's bold.
Yeah,
Multi?
100 with 2 is a good bold.
the multi predict.
And Llama Gamer, I'm not saying that you have to do this, but he could get a rushing touchdown if that happens. Like you didn't say 2
Right,
receiving touchdowns.
All right,
and I'm not saying that you have to.
You convinced me, J-Lu, 2 interceptions. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Ben Pia says 38-9 for score prediction.
All right, well, keep putting those in, and if you hit it,
Hit it, don't,
if
hit
you
it,
hit
don't,
it, sure to
don't
DM
quit
us.
Hit it, don't quit it.
be sure to DM us.
And this one's for Ikran Flowers is and then this isn't really a bold prediction, but the Eagles are losing this weekend. So that's what I'm saying. Like he didn't say that. That's what I'm saying. The Eagles are going to lose this weekend.
Boost them.
I was going to say, you threw me for a curveball there.
I think they're playing the 5-5 fucking Bills.
No, they're playing the Chiefs on Monday Night
They're
Football.
fucking playing the Chiefs that we've already talked about that we're going to watch.
We've already talked about it.
There we go.
Here we go.
Fucking Patrick Mahomes, who's going to take out Jalen Hurts on the Eagles, yo.
All right, I like this. I like these. These are all put. I mean, I think Ant's the furthest away. And,
Yeah,
and
mine's
actually,
probably
you know
not
what?
gonna
I'm
happen.
sorry. Adam's the furthest away.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, J-Lu's
2 rushing and a receiving touchdown. I know, but J-Lu could get a touchdown and an interception in one play, and then he just needs a sack, which isn't probable. But TB20 doing 2 rushing to
a 1-8 team. To a 1-8 team.
Yes. 2 is bold for me, and then you add the reception.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And that's why.
But it could honestly, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And either it should have happened against Giants. It didn't. It'll happen against the Panthers.
Could
the
happen.
Eagles.
Hey, CanFan Bucks, odds and bets. Now, Adam. Now here's the controversy.
Oh, gosh.
Adam did the parlay, and I gave it to him. I agreed to it, even though it was cheating.
That was the cheating. I went off of my.
So
my
some
mentor.
some sites do let you do it.
Okay.
Some sites
we
do.
allow. I didn't. I thought that.
Just not the site we use.
Okay. I thought the.
You can put it in, but until you actually try to make a bet.
Okay.
When you try to actually hit bet, which we tried to do with that exact bet, it says you can't be doing that.
Okay. Well, that's fair, but I'm still taking it because I need the money.
I
need the money.
We had already before the
It was
game
locked in,
happened,
right? Vegas already locked it in.
We already agreed. Moving forward, though, I get a parlay, and you
Okay.
don't get any more.
You get to
parlays.
put one. Well, you
And
can
if I
still
don't use it, I don't use it.
you can still parlay. It just can't be with.
I don't.
It
Oh,
can't
right.
be-
right. But I can parlay that one time.
Sure.
Okay.
So I can't parlay anymore.
You can't parlay over and spread.
You can't.
Oh,
I can.
okay.
You can do other.
Sorry, but what you said beforehand is I can't parlay, and I was like, what do we decide? So
I know, but
it
all
makes
we
sense
do
now.
is
He
spread
said he
money
gets
line
one.
or over under.
Yeah. I just thought the way he said it, it sounded like I wasn't allowed to parlay.
Okay,
anymore.
so add 1,058, and then AJ
CanFan bucks.
CanFan bucks, and then AJ won. What's 180? 181 plus 181.
362.
362.
Hey, do some quick math, idiot.
I couldn't figure it
So-
out. I couldn't figure it out.
What that leaves us with is Adam with a big bounce back up in the positives, 1,537 CanFan bucks.
Wowsies.
But AJ slowly putting on. I'm just cruising.
Ad's gonna lose it. He's gonna do a big bet here. He's feeling good off his mixed drinks. You know he's gonna fuck it up.
Dude, I've been pouring these.
I know you can. I can tell what Ad's on mixed drink, Ad.
I've been pouring these fucking
Doubles.
2-ounce
Those are-
motherfuckers.
I
Maybe
can
even
tell when
more.
he's on mixed drink, Ad, and he's gonna bet big.
So Adam's 1,537 CanFan bucks. I have 1,832 CanFan bucks. And we got to make another bet here. We're going with the odds. Anth, if you don't mind just confirming that.
I'm already here, ready for you.
Just make sure they didn't change, but we got the spread of Carolina plus 10.5.
That's still correct.
Money line plus 411.
That is correct. Yep.
Okay. And over under of 42.
Yep. So so behind baseball, I bet early in the week, hoping that the odds would be in our favor, but it's actually went to minus 10.5, where we got in at minus 11.
Oh,
Whatever. We're gonna smack them out.
weird. I always saw it at 10.5, but each one has a different, right?
Well, this is 10.5 now, but I made the bet when it was minus 11 on the same app.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. So what are you guys doing?
But isn't that better for us odds wise?
No, it's just always the same odds.
Oh.
It always pays out the exact same.
Okay.
Okay,
Never mind. Sorry.
what would $537 on the spread get me
Well, what for the cow? You got to tell
for
me
the
what.
Cowboys?
So minus 10.5.
Yes.
Yes,
That's good.
Because you can bet. You can still think the Cowboys are going to win, and bet on say they were playing a different team and you thought it was going to be a close game. You can still bet on the other team, and the Cowboys can still win. So when you say I'm betting on the spread, you still have to say if it's minus or plus.
I would never bet. It's not in me to bet on the other team I have to always bet on the Cowboys.
537.
I just thought you would know that.
Well,
for me.
but you have to say it that you can't let anything. It's betting, bro. So it pays out 498 buckaroos.
Okay, doing that. Lock it in
So you're doing the spread?
for 537.
Spread, you're spending $537.
Sorry, 488.
That's what I would win on top of that.
Yeah,
right?
you would win 488.
Sweet.
AJ, what are you going with?
I'm going
With
to
your
use my
CanFan buckaroos.
I'm using my parlay option.
There it is. There it is.
I'm doing spread and over.
Spread and over. So minus for the Cowboys, minus
Is this where
10.5.
AJ fucking tries to
And the over.
triple his money?
Okay, what do you got?
$50 and $50
I'm going to go, what's 300 give me?
for the spread.
Yeah.
300.
No, for the parlay.
833.
Hey,
I like
you
it.
hear that?
Let's lock that up. So spread over under parlay, and I know that we can't do that on that app, but this is CanFan bucks.
CanFan buckaroos.
So 300 and sorry, how much?
833.
Oh, I like that.
Moving so fast you can't even talk about it. Lucky person, yeah, out there somewhere is gonna win a silver cloud. What a lucky person.
Okay. So here we go.
I just blocked that all out.
I do like it.
I love it, man.
But here we go. Adam spread. He's put big money last 2 weeks, over 1,000 CanFan bucks the last 2 weeks. It's paid off for him. This week he's putting 537 on the spread to win back 488 on top of that. So you'd end up with over 2K in CanFan bucks. Me, I'm taking 300. So I'm limiting myself a little bit, but my potential with my one-time use parlay, which I'm using today, picking the spread and over for the Cowboys on both, I'll get a return plus my 300 of $833. Going to put me up to 26.
Flirting 26s.
Flirting 26 we do. And if we get that spread, I believe we'll get the over.
It should.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess, can you quick math me? Do I crack 2 Gs if I get mine?
No. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you already said
Barely.
that. Yes. You'll just be passing it.
Hey, buy a C hair.
That's
That's all I care about.
Hey,
Buy a crab's hair.
Buy a crab's
What's
hair.
going to happen at the end of the season? You guys are going to be in Jeopardy mode with the last game of the year, and you're going to have to do a little bit of math to figure out how much you can bet. If whoever's ahead will do the bare minimum that if they still lose, they'll still win, and then whoever's losing going to have to go buck wild.
Well, and I just want to say,
I might not wait till the last game. I might fuck up.
it was all kosher. There's no flag on this play. I like that Adam made the bet, and because otherwise he would have been down to 100 CanFan bucks, and then we don't got our. So this made things. We got things a little bit more interesting. I
could have possibly clawed my way back from.
You would have had to borrow money from Boots and
chip in a chair.
Well, Boots was out, so it would have been
Boots.
Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg
would have had my back, but I'm glad I don't have to go to my bankroll. You know.
Hey,
CanFantasy Football, the CFFL.
Now we got some interesting. We got a very close league. Okay.
Sorry, and the bets. It's so whoever wins the betting total has to buy the other person a nice premium bottle of liqueur. So
we're not doing top shelf; it's mid shelf.
Yeah, it's top shelf.
Restricted.
Top shelf,
restricted.
but one below.
Yeah.
Top shelf, but one below of a good hard alcohol. So
which we're both drinking.
If you ain't top shelf, you're bottom shelf.
Oh yeah, and guess what? We're fucking drinking through the playoffs. Sorry, is it just season? It's not playoffs. It's just season. So then we're gonna drink that throughout the playoffs. It'll be great.
Exactly. Playoffs. Okay. CanFantasy Football. The last game of the week was our in-house Cowboys CanFan ants shaking his head.
Well, I'm just, what the fuck's up with the flowers?
Oh, sorry. Ignore this stuff here. For some reason, I put the flowers there because I was going to replace these, but NFL didn't put up the fucking the NFL fantasy. Shame on you. You didn't put up our updated stats. So all I got here for you guys, really, for us to look at is a score. It was a hard fought game and lost by 10.
I see.
I replaced
That was from last week,
and I replaced these.
I would have rather a fucking poop emoji or something. You got flowers. It's like, so Saquon D's nuts get the flowers.
It's funny you thought I was shaking my head, but I was just looking back and forth to each of them.
I thought you were shaking your head like this fucking game I was close to.
I did lose.
I also thought Anthony was going like this. Like sometimes when he's struggling for breath after he's like drank something, he's just like this. Oh fuck me, Bocce Eric with a $20 super chat saying, you're doing top shelf. So that's the second time we've mentioned it. So it's top shelf.
It's top shelf.
Okay, now it's top shelf.
It's top shelf.
Alky. Maybe it's gonna be tequila. Maybe it's gonna be top shelf Ginny. Maybe it's gonna be gin or tequila would be great. Top shelf vodka, all right, but I don't think AJ's going to go whiskey or rum, so I think I'm fine drinking with him. I know that I'm going to go gin, and he'll drink whatever I fucking got. Anyways.
Now,
thanks, Bocce, baby.
I like gin. The story of this game, though, Ant, is you're in a bit of a skid.
Yep, I am.
You had a hot start, which is going to, allows you to have this. How did you feel? What are you going to do with the team moving forward? And are you going to turn this around?
I'm going to keep them in. Everyone that played last week's playing this week. We're going to roll. We're going to double down. I trust my boys.
Yeah, and Saquon D's nuts got really lucky with Sam Howell getting 29 points.
Howell balled out.
That's fantasy football, baby. That's what happens. But looking at the rest of the league, Week 10 results here, we had the Bandwagon Boys and Kilo Much love, Keela, but we had to take that victory. We got the Dallas Cowboys, which is TGR, beating Daddy Dak, the lone female in the group. Then we have EJ Savage defeating Dak to the Future. Who I forget who that is.
That's Boots.
Oh, Boots. Fuck.
Yeah.
There's too many Daks in here that
It messes you up.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Boot says Anth ran into me and it's been downhill ever since.
Oh, you put a little something in his water?
Boots is saying you can't fucking come at me, son. And
It's
then
happened.
It's
You know
messed
what?
with Anth's confidence.
You know what? I had a down streak before I beat you guys in the final last year to take the title. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's just part of the season.
It is. Get to the playoffs.
And
Get
the
to the
true
postseason.
reigning champions are going to actually prevail.
And we're going to take both belts, baby.
Tag team champion of the world!
It's funny though when you look at the 2022 history of the league.
I know.
The champion is Cowboys CanFan and
Asterix.
It should be, but hey, that's how the fucking cookie crumbles sometimes, and it really sucks. To round off last week's results, we also have Barry Grant Jr., the Dak haters, losing to our boy Playmakers 88,
Reggie Noble.
Reggie Noble, who we met in an airport just randomly.
And went to the Seahawks preseason game with.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But I have to say, Dak haters, you were flying high, and now your team's taking a nose dump.
Yeah.
I think you need to set your fucking lineup.
Looking at it right now, seeing all these 140s, there's 3 teams that had 140s. Deuce almost had a 150.
Yeah.
My 92 with my starting lineup is making me feel a little bit scared.
It's week to week, and then just rounding out here is Deuce and Levi had the highest scoring game of the week, so that was really
That's a barn burner.
That's a barn burner. Real quick, looking at our ranks, and this is what I wanted to draw attention to. After Cowboys CanFan Anth, look at 4 through 12.
It's close, man.
It's 5-5, 5-5 records, and the lowest is 4-6 records. Every single person can make the playoffs in this league, and I love it.
Playoffs.
Because I hate it when you've got 2 or 3 guys who are like at this point 2-8.
Yeah, they're gone.
It's like more than likely they're not, and they've given up too.
Yep. Everyone has a chance here.
Everyone has a chance, and I was really, really worried about TGR. I must say, because TGR was like, and
He was almost out.
and he's bounced back. He's now 4-6 and fucking gearing up.
Well, the shitty
feel
thing
like
about that, if you're in 4th or 5th, there's just as likely a chance as you end up outside looking in
Yes.
as if you're in 11th or
Yeah.
12th and
Yes.
making it.
I kind of a 2-game losing streak can
And you're
cost you
gone.
the playoffs.
I kind of want to do a pulse check on TGR and just say like, hey, like, how's your first year of fantasy football? Are you still playing it? Or are you just auto setting your team? Like,
I haven't slept for months.
but
But game of the week, I gotta bring us into this.
The bandwagon boys.
Because we're playing. Okay, so this is why I figured
us
that
versus EJ.
there was no. If we just go back here real quick, looking at the week 1 schedule, I'm not going to go over it. If you're an audio listener, okay, you got to come over to YouTube. Okay, I'm not
And
going
if
to
you're
hold
an
your
auto
hand.
listener still listening around, thanks. We appreciate you.
Much appreciation.
We appreciate you.
But
And the people who are still on here right now, we appreciate you too. But I'm just saying, audio, you can't see any of this shit.
out of all of these games, we're in 8th place. We're the last playoff spot. And then right behind us is Let Me See Them TDs, a.k.a. EJ Savage himself. So that's just the game of the week for that reason, that the winner of this is going to take that playoff spot. And, you know, bandwagon boys are going to take it, so we'll be moving up. But it still makes it interesting.
Be careful, though. It's spicy.
And we have only a 7-point game differential in our projected points, which you can never take into account. But otherwise, just looking down that list, any big standouts where either team has a big advantage over the other?
Let me take a look here.
Jamar Chase could always go off.
Yeah.
He had a big game last week. He's always good for it.
He's rolling now.
Your guys' wild cards right now, when I'm looking at yours, is Henry and Jacobs. It depends on what they do.
I know. You're right. Well, Jacobs has been having a much better last, say, 3-4 games.
Yep.
Henry had a stinker last week. And then looking over at Let Me See Them TDs and his running backs, he's got A. Jones and R. Robinson. They're just solid, consistent rushers. So I think the
He's
benefit...
got Thielen, fellas.
He does have Thielen. That's going to be fun. That'll be fun.
He's got Thielen and Hubbard. He's got two Panthers rolling in his matchup.
He's a Panth, man.
Hey, EJ, you still got time to change your lineup if you want to.
I'm just going to say this. The way that we roll on the bandwagon, boys, where AJ is doing the heavy roster management, we're a second half of the year team in fantasy football. We proved it last year. We're proving it this year. It is what it is. Anybody who's standing in our way, I feel sorry for you. If you didn't play us the first half of the season, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Whoopsie.
We'll see you in playoffs.
Your tight end's not looking great, boys.
Tight end's not looking great, I know. But look,
not everyone's perfect.
Thank you for reminding me, Anth. Now, just throwing this out there, and maybe I don't think you really care about listening to this, but we got 2 quarterbacks on our bench because we're going to be starting Patty Mahomes for the rest of the season. But we got 2 quarterbacks on our bench. We got Dobbs and we got Fields. And if anyone wants to make a trade for a tight end, and I'm going to be looking at some deals tomorrow, so keep your phone ready.
Hey,
we're open, and we want a tight end upgrade, and we have too many quarterbacks. Got to get rid of one.
Way too many.
So that's that. Okay.
I feel I in this relationship, I feel like the team owner, and he's the general manager, and he'll just he'll out of respect, he'll ask me what I think, take it into consideration, and then I let my baby roll with it. That's how we roll.
That's how you do it.
The reason I do that is because I know if I do something, he's gonna call me out. So it's like, okay, just fucking look at the baby. Look at the baby.
This is how it happens. It just how it happens.
Well, yeah, we're getting into crunch time, not only in the NFL season, in Cowboy season, but in the CFFL.
Dudes, I really hate to do this last minute, but we didn't do it, and we're gonna get better at this.
Oh yeah.
Your Crackum Player of the Game.
I don't hate it if you got him. I don't hate it as a way to lead out of the episode anyways. This isn't a terrible way to lead out of the episode. If there's anyone still around, well, we'll tell you what we're doing here. We're picking the CanFan Player of the Game, Crackum Player of the Game from last week's game against the Giants. And it's unanimous, right? It's got to be our guy, CeeDee Lamb.
Yo.
Or no, wait, are we going Dak? Who are we doing?
Well, we said
you've just I
just totally brain fogged myself.
I was going to bring up the Dak as the Kraken player of the game.
Got to be Dak.
On the cast when we were live streaming on Sunday, every Sunday or every Cowboys game, we're live streaming, doing play-by-play instant reactions. We were saying CeeDee Lamb's the player of the game. We did it on the post game, and then it was like, well, there is a big contention that Dak could have been.
It's got to be Dak.
Do you want me to just read the stats quickly?
Yeah,
here?
please do.
Just so we can make a quick decision. So Dak went 26 of 35, 404 yards, 4 touchdowns, and that one ugly interception. Sorry,
with a rushing touchdown. Also
with a rushing touchdown, so 5 total. Then we had CeeDee Lamb, 11 receptions, 151 yards, 13.7 average with a rushing touchdown himself. And a receiving touchdown. This is the closest of the year.
Yeah, those two are the closest. I mean, Gus is saying in the chat, Brand Cooks should be possibly.
He had a good game. Brandon Cooks had a great game.
193 yards.
For me, Brandon Cooks did have a really good game. He was just 1 touchdown away from Dak with 5 touchdowns, 404.
That's 400 yards in the NFL is hard to do. Dak has 10 of them. That's very hard to do. Throwing 4 touchdowns is tough to do. And then topping that off with a rushing touchdown, that's got to be it. He had 5 total touchdowns on the offense and accounted for 400 of the 600 yards.
Okay, so Sedarius Lamb with his 2 touchdowns, 1 receiving, 1 rushing, plus breaking 150 yards, plus setting a record, still makes him contention for player of the game. But if you're just looking at the individual stats for the game, it is wavering towards Dakota.
It's Dakota Prescott. We've switched. Oh my God!
We switched it. We talked our way through it.
That was the biggest Shawn Michaels super kick to Marty Jannetty.
Oh my God!
We just super kicked CeeDee Lamb's chances.
CeeDee Lamb's walking up to get his Kraken player of the game, and then fucking Ant just super kicked him through the fucking pane of glass at the barbershop.
Because CeeDee had a great game, but Dak did that in 3 quarters.
Yeah, congrats,
3 quarters. Dak did that in 3 quarters.
Good call.
Dak did that in 3 quarters.
Hey, good call.
So, You're gonna lead us.
What?
Ad's leading us out. Ad's leading us out today. You're leading us out.
Okay, for the Bandwagon Boys and Anth Bess, this is a great show. We're going into the Panthers weekend, and we just want to say, if you know anybody out there that ain't a Cowboys fan, just go ahead and tell them to go fuck yourself!
We'll be here an hour before kickoff on Sunday. You know where to find us. Live stream on all day, all long, son.
Peace.
Love you, chat.
Let's go get that Big George dub on Sunday.
W.
Love you, chat.